In the standard kidnapping narrative, the power dynamic is absolute. You have the ruthless criminals, the panicked parents, and a vulnerable victim held for a high-stakes ransom. But O. Henry built his career on dismantling these types of cultural tropes. In The Ransom of Red Chief, he presents a kidnapping where criminals end up desperate for an escape. The story hinges on a total reversal of expectations. By the time the ransom note is actually delivered, the kidnappers have been so thoroughly demoralized that the traditional roles of predator and prey have swapped places entirely. The setting is Summit, Alabama, a small, sleepy town that the narrators describe as being as flat as a flannel cake. Our protagonists, Sam and Bill, have $600 in joint capital. They need exactly $2,000 more to launch a land speculation scheme in Illinois. They choose a rural target because they assume the local peasantry will have strong family ties, but lack the professional resources, like plainclothes detectives or aggressive newspapers, to track them down. Their target is Ebenezer Dorset, a prominent citizen and forecloser, known for being respectable and, more importantly, extremely tight with his money. To get to Dorset's wealth, they kidnap his 10-year-old son, a boy with bas-relief freckles and hair the color of a magazine cover. Sam and Bill have mapped out the geography and the finances. What they haven't prepared for is a child who treats a violent abduction like an invitation to a permanent camping trip. After snatching the boy off the street, they retreat to a cave on a nearby mountain, fully expecting the child to be terrified. Instead, the boy is having the time of his life. He hates school, loves the woods, and immediately starts enjoying the novelty of living in a cave. He promptly rebrands himself as Red Chief, declaring that Sam and Bill are now his captives, and he'll be scalping them both at daybreak. This creates an immediate problem for the kidnappers. Their primary source of leverage, the threat of harm and the fear of captivity, is useless against a victim who refuses to be intimidated. The boys' play quickly turns into a literal struggle for physical dominance, with Bill bearing the brunt of the child's energy. At dawn, Sam wakes up to find Red Chief sitting on Bill's chest, industriously trying to scalp him with a kitchen knife. The child's attacks only get more creative. He drops a red-hot boiled potato down Bill's back and mashes it with his foot. Later, the boy uses a sling to whip a rock at Bill's head, knocking him directly into a frying pan of hot water. The psychological toll is just as heavy. Red Chief's constant war whoops and screeching about fancied outlaws make it impossible for either man to sleep. The breaking point comes when Red Chief decides to play Black Scout, forcing Bill to get on all fours and act as a horse for a 90-mile pretend ride to the stockade. Bill's spirit is broken. He tearfully begs Sam not to leave him alone with the child, terrified of what the boy might do next. Desperate to end the ordeal, Bill convinces Sam to lower their ransom demand from $2,000 to $1,500, arguing that no parent would pay more for that 40-pound chunk of freckled wildcat. The professional criminals have become the victims of their own crime. Their initial arrogance blinded them to the reality that a child's capacity for chaos can outweigh a grown man's capacity for violence. Sam surreptitiously posts the ransom letter and hides in a tree to wait for Ebenezer Dorset's response, still hoping the father will capitulate. This chart tracks their scheme's collapsing value. Starting at $2,000, they drop to $1,500. Upon Dorset's reply, the value hits zero. He rejects the ransom entirely. Then, the logic flips. Dorset will only take the boy back if the kidnappers pay him $250. Dorset understands his son's nature better than the criminals do. By refusing to play the part of the grieving parent, he turns the boy into a liability that the kidnappers have to pay to get rid of. Defeated, Sam and Bill bring the boy home at midnight, lying to him that his father has bought him a silver-mounted rifle to get him to go quietly. At the front door, Bill is forced to count out $250 of their own money and hand it over to Ebenezer Dorset. When the boy realizes he's being left behind, he latches onto Bill's leg like a leech. Dorset has to physically peel the child away so the men can escape. The grifters who came to Summit to exploit a simple town end up being financially fleeced and chased out of the state by the very people they intended to rob. Henry's story shows that exploitation is a two-way street. Sam and Bill were so focused on their own cleverness that they never considered that their victim might be more exhausting than the ransom was worth. The final outcome of the Ransom of Red Chief suggests a unique form of justice. Sometimes the most effective way to punish a thief is to let them have exactly what they stole.